Hi everyone, and welcome to another tarot video in which we are going through the minor arcana of the Thoth deck, and today we're going to be looking at a very much brighter card than last time, and it is the Eight of Discs, which is called Prudence. So the symbology is not complex in this card, so hopefully we'll have a shorter video. Very different to the last card, as I said, which was Indolence, which is the Eight of Cups. So the two contrast quite starkly. So we'll have a little look at the reasons why that might be the case. The Rider-Waite card looks like this, but that will be the topic of another series. So what we'll do today, we'll just take a look now at the symbology behind this in a screen capture in the next section, and then we'll just go on to look at it in a divinatory setting. Okay, we'll go and first of all have a look at the card itself. So, sorry, it's a little bit blurred there, but there's not a lot of symbology on this card, so we're not exactly missing out. Central to the card you've got the tree itself. Things to note are that it's anchored firmly in fertile land, so we've got a sense of stability. The discs themselves are the centre of the flowers, the fruit, and that is protected by the leaves which curl round. So you've got a sense of stability, protection and fertility in this card. All looking good so far. In terms of the Tree of Life, we'll bring up the first diagram again, and it's related to the 8th Sephiroth, which is ruled by Mercury. This is called Hod, as we've met before. So quite far down on the Tree of Life. The actual worlds, 4 worlds classification is right down here in the world of Asaya. So it's being in a suit of discs, it's a lot more stable, because this is the suit. This is the element of Earth, so it's a lot more at home down here than the Indolence card was, because the Eight of Cups being low down on the Tree of Life, that aspect of being quite far away from the spiritual source, which is B.O.T.A, does not sit very well with it. So that is one of the reasons of the difference between the two. So going back to the card itself, another difference between the two is what we'll look at now is the astrology of the card. Going to the decan, we've got the first decan of Virgo, which is 0 to 10 degrees, ruled by the Sun. So we've got the Sun in Virgo there, and on the card itself we have the Sun here at the top, and a little bit more blurred is the Virgo sign on the trunk of the tree. The astrology is significant because Mercury both rules and is exalted in Virgo. Mercury is all about communication, and Virgo is very much about practical matters, work, health, and attention to detail. Rules the 6th house. So the planet Mercury and Virgo sit very well together, so that's another reason why we've got a bright looking card this time as opposed to the dark looking Eight of Cups. Crowley defines this as, he says, it signifies intelligence lovingly applied to material matters such as agriculture or engineering. So we've got the Sun here. The Sun basically energizes everything it touches. So we've got Virgo with its hard work ethic and attention to detail, and the Sun just brings it out. So we've got a energizer and enhancer in the Sun there, and an opportunity for growth. hence we've got all this fertility. So the astrology is very positive, and that actually filters down into a very positive looking card. Looking at the philosophy of the card, he links this to the geomantic figure called populace, which is basically, it says, for the common people, which is agriculture. In my notes, which I will give a link to in the description box below the video, I will put a link to a site which goes through the geomantic figures, because they can be a little bit abstract. So back to the symbology of the card. We essentially have, if we look at the fruit itself, it's got 5 segments, and in here you've got 2, 3, 4, 5. You've got 5 flowers, 5 petals. Sorry, we've got obviously the 8 flowers, but these are in these relate to the number 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you've got the 5 sort of segments in the middle there. So 5 plus 5 is the number of the 10th Sephiroth, which is called B.O.T.A, which relates to Earth. So the card represents tangible things that are manifested in our life. The flowers again are protected, so this could indicate being protective of your dreams and plans and nurture them until the universe manifests them. Don't know if I've got a picture of the... No, I've not got a picture of what the Rider-Waite card is, but I did show you it in the beginning. So, and that's all about, that was a man basically making things. So there's an element of time to this card, an element of waiting for something to flower and unfold. Quotes from the book of Thoth. There is strength in doing nothing at all. In other words, once we've actually done the work we need to do, we can just let it be and just watch it grow. So it also says, sow the seed, sit back and wait for the harvest. So this implies having the patience just to preside over growth of something without really interfering too much, and just let time make your investment grow. Also, Virgo is Yod, the sacred seed of life, and also the virgin earth. So with him saying that Virgo is Yod, which is the first part of the Tetragrammaton, and the sacred seed of life, and also the virgin earth. I've got a article on astrology on my website, and it goes through, or it started to go through, the biblical order of the signs, and the biblical order actually starts with Virgo. So it's ironic that he says Virgo is Yod to be the beginning. So again, I'll put a clickable link in the notes below, just to, well, you'll be able to see it just on my link to my website, and this will be a separate link that will show you, give you details about the sign of Virgo and all these sort of esoteric meanings behind it. So, looking at the divinatory meanings of this card, certain phrases could sum it up. These would be things like, you need time and patience to develop something. Don't rush it, as it's a long-term thing, and be prepared to bide your time and let things come to fruition. The 8 of Discs is also encouragement to keep you doing what you are doing, as it will eventually lead to success. So it requires a lot of dedication, focus, patience, and as time passes, if you just stay true to yourself and your beliefs, then you just get a little closer to your goal. Sometimes this element of time in relation to the card can indicate that you need additional training, maybe in your job, to advance where you want to go with projects and work. So again, this time may be needed to cultivate this, and it just generally represents just waiting patiently over a period of time to get what you want. If we're going to look at it in a reversed position, if you do reversals, personally I don't. I don't think the Thoth deck actually lends itself to reversals very well, but looking at it reversed, it could indicate undue haste in what you're trying to achieve, so you're not allowing it just to unfold naturally, or too much emphasis on the small details and losing the bigger picture. Obviously Virgo is all about attention to detail, or too much energy applied to one area of your life, so the rest could be suffering due to lack of attention or energy. So a few ways in which the reversal can be read. Right, we'll just have a look at how this relates to other cards and finish off in the final section. Okay, in the final section of the video we'll just have a look at the 8 of discs in relation to a few other cards. So if it's the first card that we get in the Celtic cross spread, it's a very good card to have. You've got a situation which is not going to happen and develop to its potential overnight. It's going to take time to develop, but the outlook is very positive, and it's with it being in the suit of discs, we're looking at either a work setting or something tangible that's happening in our life, something material. Other cards that can go with it, so if the second card that comes out on a Celtic cross would be the 9 of discs, then obviously you're looking at a very good 2 cards to come together there. The 9 of discs indicating that if someone's got the patience to develop this work project or whatever it may be, and has got the patience to stick with it and be focused with it, then they're going to have a very favourable outcome materially. Completely different card is the 7 of Cups, so if that crosses it, then that's all about putting energy into the pursuit of just empty happiness, really. So it's not really happiness, we're just trying to go to excesses in our personal life. So there is definitely a disjoint between what is needed in the workplace, or what is needed for them to develop practically in their life, and what is going on emotionally with that person. So their emotions are sort of crossing and inhibiting their work progress. The 9 of Wands, one of my favourite cards there. Although it's dark, it's really just representing the subconscious and tapping into that subconscious, as we met in a previous video. So the light of the sun is dipping into the subconscious and pulling out the strength needed to get through this period of time. So those are very good complementary cards. A totally different setting would be the 3 of Cups, and that's indicating or could indicate the importance of friendships in a work adventure, and cooperation with others. The need to have fun as well and enjoy what you're doing, because it's going to take time, and that is going to be not a solitary thing, but it's going to be to do with close working partnerships with other people. Seven of Swords, futility. It's all about self-doubt creeping in, which is inhibits this progress that is needed, and time that is needed to nurture your material wants and desires, which are represented by the 8 of Discs. And then you've got the Luxury card, which is the 4 of Cups, which represents a sense of boredom. So again, this is a card which would cross negatively with that, because you'd be looking, again, as we said, we need time to develop ourselves in our work setting, for our personal projects, and there's a sense of inertia, sense of just taking things for granted, really, in the 4 of Cups. So we're going to need to unravel the reasons why that is the case and remove that energy, because it's not going to serve us for what we need to achieve in the 8. Probably last card we'll look at is the 8 of Wands, which is Swiftness, and that could indicate basically that there is a tendency to rush. Swiftness, the energy of that card is quite obvious. It's short-term burst of energy. So this card can be read in two ways. It could be that we're rushing into and want results immediately in what we're doing work-wise, and we're not getting them, and so we get frustrated. Or another side of the other side of the coin is that we need to. The Swiftness card is telling us that there's an opportunity coming up, but it's going to take time to develop. But this opportunity is not going to be there forever, and we need to act quickly to get on the bandwagon, so to speak, and take this opportunity, because it will grow into something which is going to be very fruitful and worthwhile for us. So, variety of cards there, all saying different things. Obviously we're not looking at a spread in its totality, so this is just a flavour of how the energies of one card relate to another. Okay, I hope that gives you some clarification of the energy contained in the 8 of Discs. Thanks very much for watching. If you have any questions, just drop them in the box below. All details of my website and the notes to this card, again, there's links below, as there are interpretations of this card from other people on YouTube. So I try to be as broad as I can in these tutorials. Okay, that's it for now. Take care, and hopefully see you again.